are listening to the most original talk radio station anywhere. We are LA Talk Radio at latalkradio.com.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality. With Priscilla Leona. Priscilla Leona. Only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I'm your host, Priscilla Leona, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Our show is broadcast every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 5:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, our show will help you to question your career reality. Now, this show is for you if you were, are, or might be considering a career in the entertainment industry. Our guests will provide you with tips, advice, and resource information on how and what it takes to successfully pursue a career in show business. Now, our guests work in various professions of entertainment, so that means that we will definitely have someone on the show that is from a career that you're interested. Now, if you want to check out our past guests, read their bios, listen to their interview instantly, or download one of the shows, go to the LA Talk Radio website, latalkradio.com. Now, if you are listening to us live, you're already on the website. Hopefully you figured that out. You just click on the link at the top of the website that says Channel 1, scroll down, look for the graphic of our show, Question Reality, and click the link. And this takes you directly to our archive page, and that's where all of the past shows are. It's a list of all the past shows, and the shows are also available for download on iTunes under the podcast section. You just type in Question Reality Radio in the search box. And we're also on Stitcher, Stitcher.com. And if you want to find out about our future guests, you have to go to a totally different website. That's the official Question Reality Radio Show website. And that website is questionrealityshow.com. questionrealityshow.com. Now we have a wonderful guest for you, an actor this week, and his name is Jamian J. Blackmon. He's fantastic. If you want to go and look him up now, he is on IMDb, and that name is spelled Jamian J. Middle initial, and then Blackmon, Blackmon. He is also on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and has a wonderful demo reel that you have to check out if you want to see the magnitude of this guy's talent on YouTube. Now, we are going to talk to him in a couple minutes, and we're going to be asking him questions as an actor. Did I say he was an actor? Yes, he is an actor. I think I forgot to announce that. You're like, who the hell is Jamian Blackmon? Okay, he's an actor. So we're going to be asking him actor questions. Some of the things we're going to ask him are, like, what 3 characteristic traits does he feel that it takes to become a successful actor? What does he feel you need as an educational background or training to become and prepare for a career as an actor? What are some of the common misconceptions about that actors have about casting directors or auditions? How do actors feel like they want to be treated by casting directors overall? Because we always get some disgruntled actors, and we want to kind of clear it up. We love our casting directors; they're fantastic. So we love those casting directors, and we're going to be asking many, many more questions that are very, very, very valuable questions to ask. It seems like Jamian has a cold in the background. That's him coughing. You have to excuse him, by the way. Mute it, Jamian. Put your hand over that phone now. I got to do my spiel. Can't be having any coughing in the background, honey child. All right, sweetie. We're going to talk to Jamian in a couple minutes, but first I have to tell you about my adventure last night. Albert and I, as you know, Albert's my husband. Albert and I went to see. I got to do this. We went to see this wonderful play, and I've got to quickly give a shout, a big props to the cast and crew of this play. It was called Little Mary Sunshine, and it was written by Rick Basoya and it was performed at the West Valley Playhouse and directed by the multi-talented Mr. John Barry, who I think, not sure, but I think he directs most of the plays that are there. I had never heard of this play, and I try to keep up on my plays. I had not heard of this play. We went to see it to support our friend Daniel Krause, who was in the play, starring as the character of Pete. And by the way, he really rocked that little Canadian Mountie uniform. I mean, that was awesome. I loved it. He was cute as a button in there, and he was so funny as usual in all of his performances. So we love to go see Daniel Krause. But I have to tell you, I was so impressed overall with the performance by these actors, just the whole play in general. It's a musical comedy, and it was just brilliantly choreographed. The set, oh, it was just so precious. And the actors, again, overall, they were just superb singers, and we were just so super impressed by this adorable character of Madame Ernestiner von Liebeditch. Boy, that's a mouthful. Madame Ernestiner von Liebeditch. And she was played by Marla Peppy Miller, who was called last minute to do this role due to the original actress being ill. And Marla Miller came on stage with the script in hand, and I thought to myself, oh no, the poor soul, because I know what it was like for me being called at the last minute and having to do that so long ago. And I tell you, it was just, it was a horrifying experience for me, and I just hated it, but I had to do it. And it was just, it ended up being okay, but I just know that it's just a very uncomfortable thing for an actor to do, originally being called. But after 1 minute, so she comes on stage. After 1 minute, I didn't even notice the book, because this lady, this Marla Miller person, her stage presence, it was just so pure, and it was authentic to the character, and her German accent, oh my God, it was spot on. And her singing, we adored this singing. It was so crisp and clear, and it was genuine of an experienced opera singer. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this is a really good opera singer here. She's fantastic. And then when we met her after the play, I was so shocked to find out that she actually wasn't an opera singer. Not at all. And I thought to myself, oh my God, now that's acting. So she was fantastic, awesome, just incredible job by this lady. She just made my night. I just love this little lady. Unfortunately, the play was over today. It was the last day, so this critique won't even get you to the show. But maybe next time when you hear of the play Little Miss Mary Sunshine, not Little Miss Mary Sunshine, it was Little Mary Sunshine, you'll go see it, because overall the play is fantastic. Lastly, I want to point out the incredible job by the obviously multi-talented Brenda Locke. She is a recent transplant from Washington, D.C., and this girl, Brenda Locke, she's so strikingly beautiful, talented actress, singer, dancer, and I can tell you, look out for this girl, because she is a definite red carpet walker in the very near future. She was awesome, just really impressed with her. My husband and I were just we were titillated by this lady too. So great job to Marla Miller and Brenda Locke, on the move, on the groove, and excellent job overall by Mr. John Barry. Let's give him a hand. Yay, 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 yay. He's fantastic. Okay, so back to the show. Again, we have guest Jamian Blackmon. He is an actor, and a little bit about Jamian. He's been acting since 2005. And his first acting job was a background actor on one of my favorite movies up until like the third one, Bring It On. He was in Bring It On 4, In It to Win It. He moved to New Jersey in 2007, and I'm not sure why he moved to New Jersey. We're going to have to find out. I don't know where he was before, but he got cast and paid for his first acting role in Philly, and he was also cast in his first lead role in the film Up in the Attic. And he's worked on so many different projects. He attends acting classes. He loves his acting classes, and he is on the move. Oh, he was cast to play a prisoner in The Yard, which was directed by Nathan Ware, that was featured in the 2011 Garden State Film Festival. Ah, that's Jersey for sure. And later on in 2011, he was cast to play Reggie in Bully, directed by Christian Grillo, that was signed to a distribution deal in the UK. So that's always exciting. And then in 2012, just last year, he was cast in the film Deer Crossing, and that was distributed through the country, being sold on different Redbox and Blockbuster locations. That's exciting. And and different websites as well. And he moved to the great state of California at the end of 2012, and he was cast in his very first short in California entitled Colorblind, and it is currently still filming. So the actor that we have with us today is going to give us the perspective of what it is like being a beginning actor in California, in LA. So we want to focus on that because so many people come here and a lot of them aren't prepared. You really have to do your research before you move here. And there's no reason to not do your research with the great adventure of the internet. Now, when I moved here, there was no internet. So I had to call and talk to people and people who lived here and came back, and it wasn't, there were only a couple things that ended up being correct that I was told, and one of them is that you definitely need a car when you live out here. I mean, they do have a wonderful transportation system. It's gotten much better than in 92 when I came here. However, you really do need a car because sometimes you do get calls for auditions and they say, can you be here in a half an hour? The bus is not going to get you there in a half an hour. So that is my little tip of the day. But we're going to find out from Jamian what his experiences as a beginning actor have been, just for you people that are listening that are thinking of coming to LA. So without further ado, let's welcome him. Jamian, have you gotten through this long-winded spiel of mine?
Yeah, I have. You know, you were definitely energetic. Like, wow.
I know, and I'm not even on anything. I only have my wild turkey whiskey once a year at my birthday parties. My goodness. Oh, and my husband's birthday parties and any other birthday party. I know, just kidding, just twice a year. But yeah, so I just love life. I love my radio show. I love having people on like you who are coming out here to live your dream, do it up, and make things happen. Now, let's go back to the beginning when little Jamian Blackmon was a child. Okay, so you know how we all see ourselves as being things when we grow up. Like I wanted to be Wonder Woman. What did you see yourself when you were a child? What did you see yourself doing, being, etc.? What were your dreams?
Well, I mean, to really be honest with you, it was to play basketball.
Wow.
You know, I grew up in Gainesville, Florida. You know, early on in my childhood, before moving to Orlando. You know, rooting for the Pistons. You know, and I know that's shocking and that's bad to LA fans, or especially Laker fans out here, but I grew up as a big Isaiah Thomas fan, and every time I saw him play, and, you know, this was before Michael Jordan, so, I mean, even though he was young in his NBA career, I just love Isaiah Thomas. I love the way he played, you know, so fast and up-tempo, and I said to myself, you know, when I grow, that's what I want to do. I want to play basketball. You know, and I played throughout middle school. I played throughout AAU. I played throughout high school. You know, it was a very interesting experience.
Are you a tall gentleman or average height or what?
I am tall. I'm standing at 6'3".
Oh, that's good. So you definitely had what it took to be a basketball player for sure. Now, what changed your mind? I mean, you were on the ball career. What happened that you went from basketball to wanting to be an actor? How did that happen?
Well, I always loved entertaining people. I always loved making people laugh. And, you know, everybody growing up as a child, I was the biggest class clown ever, you know, in school. during while I was playing, sometimes I got in trouble for being a little too class clown funny. But
well, you could have joined the Harlem Globetrotters. They have fun and they entertain people.
Yeah, but see, I was one of those people in school to where like I was the first person to get my work done, and then I have like maybe 30, 45 minutes to do absolutely nothing.
Wow.
So, I'd make little comments, and, my teachers would send me to the dean. So,
as many of our great stars have been sent to the principal's office for acting up in class, so I certainly understand that. So you decided, okay, let me try this acting thing out, right? You just acting?
Well, one of the things was I really didn't understand acting as a kid. I really didn't, especially like with the basketball schedule. So I always enjoyed going to movies. Sometimes I went to the movies dateless. So, I was always.
God forbid a man go to the movies.
I can't believe I was dateless.
God. God, you just said that. I was like, dateless? God forbid a man go to the damn movies by himself. Come on now. What is that, something that's considered not masculine to go into the movies by himself? I think what do you have to dress and drag to go to the movie by yourself as a man? What's going on over there? You can go to the movies, man.
Hey, listen,
that's where you can meet a hot chick. Girls go to the movies by themselves all the time.
Hey, just because you meet a hot chick doesn't necessarily mean that she wants to go out with you. So,
I hear you. Now, when you decided that you wanted to pursue a career as an actor, was your family supportive, or had they had hopes of you becoming a famous basketball player?
Well, really, I made the decision. I made the decision on my own, and I wanted to hide it from my family for a while, because my mother, she wanted me to be a teacher, because I used to coach, I used to teach and mentor my sisters, during their days in school, and I used to coach little kids in basketball. So she really saw me as more as a teacher, not really in acting, but she's been, supportive throughout everything I've done, especially with me living out in California, because you definitely got to have that family backing you up, So they really took in that I wanted to be an actor later on, and they were just saying go for it. It wasn't no animosity, no type of meanness to it. My mother understand, and one of the most important values that she taught me was you got to live for yourself. You can't worry about what I think. You got to live for yourself.
Well,
because at the end of the day,
she's a very special mother. Very special mother,
yeah.
Because my mother's
my best friend.
Well, and you better honor that on Mother's Day coming up. You better get her a little something. But I just wanted to tell you that you very, very lucky, because not many families are supportive when you say you want to be an actor, because they automatically, and as a mother and father, you automatically think, oh my God, my child is going to end up poor, going to end up with sleeping in a bed with bed bugs in this rat-infested hovel. So that's what that goes through their minds, because it really is a career that you have to juggle many, many different things. You have to learn how to supplement your income if you come out here. Go anywhere to pursue a career as an actor. You really have to think about that. Now, what do you feel? And I know you're just starting on your way, but I'm interested in your perspective. What do you feel are 3 characteristic traits that are mandatory to become a successful actor that you feel that you have?
Well, one of the first things you have to do before anything is you have to believe in yourself. You have to have that confidence that throughout anything in acting that you can do it, because it's very easy to get upset, to get down, to get frustrated, but you got to have that confidence. That confidence and that belief in yourself will carry you through. I know throughout times I've had, when I didn't get a call back, or I didn't get an audition, or I didn't get any, when I didn't get back any type of information. I mean, I got very frustrated, but I said to myself, this is only just part of it. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. And that's all I've been able to do. The second thing is you got to do a lot of research. Research is so important when you're making that decision into acting, because it's cool to just watch a movie and say, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could go into that. But just like anything else, you got to do your research. You got to know, who to talk to, who the people behind the scene, because it's great to see the people in front of the camera, but the people behind the camera are the people that you really need to speak to. And last but not least, you just have to have your priorities in order. It's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to get busy in this field, and it can go either which way. But as long as you have that priority in mind and you're following that priority, then being a successful actor is easy. There, like I said, there are dark days, but even dark days have light in it every now and then. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's just like it's a little crazy saying what I'm about to say, but even prisoners get a little yard time. So you just gotta keep that in thought.
Yeah, you really do. Rejection, if you can't handle rejection, you do not want to even attempt to become an actor, because it is full of rejection. You really have to be able to handle rejection well. If you're hyper sensitive and think everybody's against you, well, you not only need to see a therapist, but you cannot become an actor because you will be on the rooftop of a building very soon. So don't even try it. Now, education, I personally feel that you do need to have training. There are some people who are natural actors, and God bless them, but even they still need to have training of some sort to hone their natural talents. But then there are some people who really do need acting classes to learn technique or to learn certain things. What educational background or training do you personally feel or recommend that one pursue to prepare for their career as an actor prior to coming out here, or even after coming out here to continue it?
Well, when I lived in New Jersey, I always went to New York. And New York is a very interesting place as far as acting is concerned, but it's one of the most greatest times as far as acting education I ever had. Shout out to Miss Tracy Moore. You can never stop learning, and you can't be afraid to, you can't be afraid to go to acting classes. When people think acting classes, they think of already the negative, oh, you're not good. But there are some very important things that in acting classes that you can learn that you're not going to learn by observing. So one of the things that I did was I went to acting classes, like I said before, in New York. Started with Miss Tracy Moore, and then I went to acting class in New Jersey, taught by Miss J.T. Wagner. They gave me little things, like just like when you make a dish, you need ingredients. And that's exactly what I did. And then when I moved out here, I went to acting workshops. And acting workshops can be used of one or two ways. It could be used as a method to learn, and it can be used as a method to network. So, workshops are definitely, you can't be afraid to.
They're mandatory. They're mandatory.
Yeah,
it's such a. Now, this is. I want to point out, people, that this is a catch-22 sometimes as well. Because let me tell you, if you are a good actor or a great actor, going in front of a casting director, going to these workshops is going to be so beneficial for you, because these are the people that are casting the projects. If you go up in front of them and you are a great actor or a good actor, your chances of getting a part in something are pretty great. Now, here's where the catch is. Some of these casting director workshops do not audition actors. They want to take anybody for their money to get in to take the class. If you go in front of a casting director and you are not prepared as an actor, and you go in front of, they will remember you. They will remember you. Casting directors have excellent memories. They have memories like, oh my God, it takes a special person to be a casting director. And one of the things is you must have a phenomenal memory for faces, and they will remember you. So even if 5 years from now you take all of these classes and you improve and you really become a better actor or a good actor, and your picture comes in front of a casting director and you were not prepared way back 5 years ago and you were horrible, let's just say it, be real, they're going to remember you and they're not even going to give you a chance. So take your acting classes first. Get to a level, ask your acting teachers, do you feel that I'm ready to move on to going to casting director workshops? Of course, every actor or people, the singers as well, or a lot of people, they think they're ready. But the smart person asks opinions from their mentors, their teachers. And
absolutely.
Because, great example of this is you watch American Idol and you see the auditions, right? Everybody thinks they're the best singer in the world, and some of them suck, let's be honest, and they're hard when you go, oh my God. And you watch that person, Jamian, and this person believes more than anything in the world that they can sing. But we know that they can't, but their family tells them they can sing, their friends tell them they can sing, and they cannot sing, and they really believe it in their heart and soul. And you see these people break down and cry and just don't understand. They think the judges have lost their minds that they didn't pick them. And that's the same way as an actor. There are some actors think they are the greatest thing since Campbell's soup, and they are not. So you have to be honest with yourself. Honesty before you go in front of a casting director. So take your classes. Take your classes. You really have to be prepared. Now, let's move on to you have experienced, you're at a level now where you have experienced auditions. And a lot of actors tell me that they have, there are some misconceptions about casting directors. There are things that are true. There are things that are not true. Let's talk about your experiences with going on auditions. What do you feel are some common misconceptions that actors have about casting directors or auditions in general? Because a lot of people they think, for example, a lot of actors feel, beginning actors, new actors, they feel that when they go, they are lucky enough to get an audition with a casting director or an audition in general. They feel that they walk in and the people that are looking at them expect them to do bad. They're like, they want me to do bad. They have this weird thing where they think that casting directors want to hate them. They don't want them to do well, which is not true at all, because they want, the faster they get somebody cast for a role, they can move on to the next one. And that is a misconception. So other than that, what do you feel are some other misconceptions actors have about casting directors or positions in general?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to harp on your point, because that is what I was going to say. Casting directors are not against you. You know, casting directors are actually there for you. Yeah. You know, one of the biggest things that I've learned when you go into an audition room, they expect you to ask questions. I mean, it's great to be prepared, but you know, if there's something about a script that you don't understand, they expect you to ask them questions. If they say, okay, well, do you have any questions, and you say no, and you don't give the same performance that they're looking for, it's because you didn't ask a specific question.
Exactly.
You know, and I know at the beginning as an actor, I used to think the same thing. I used to think, oh, well, these casting directors, you know, they don't like me, but it was because I didn't ask the right question when they offered it.
Right. They want to see that you have an interest. Now, you don't want to sit there and chew their ear off with a whole bunch of questions because their time is precious. But it is good to ask something, about the role. Because sometimes, most of the time they'll say, do you have any questions before you start? Because they want you to have a clear understanding of the character, and that's why they ask you that question. They're not saying... For the inexperienced actor, they're not saying, do you have any questions like, oh, did you get your parking validated? That's not what they're asking. They're asking you, what questions do you have about the character so that you can do your best performance? That's what it means.
And see, and what it gives off to the casting director, it shows them that you're really interested in the part. You know,
Yes.
it shows that you really care about it and you really want it. You know, a lot of actors that I know, they go in, they're like, yeah, I got this role is easy. But just because it may be easy doesn't necessarily mean that it is easy. You know, I mean, if they tell you, you know, do you have any questions? Take advantage of it. You know, don't be afraid to ask a question because it's not going to make you look bad. If anything, it makes you look good even more.
It does.
So,
It does. It really does. Now, a lot of actors get really, really nervous before not only going to see a casting director, but they get overall nervous in general for an audition. It may be with a director or a producer, not just a casting person. Do you have any tips for people how to handle your nerves for the new people, for the beginners? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Use your nervousness to your advantage. You know, one person once told me, your nervousness is because you really, really want it. You know, use your nervousness to your advantage. I mean, I remember with me playing basketball, I used to play in front of, 1,000 to 1,500 to 3,000 people. So every day before a big game, I would stay to myself and really, really think. But when the butterflies get to going and you feel like your stomach is in a knot, use that energy of your big nervousness to your advantage.
Absolutely.
That nervousness will create that excitement, and that excitement will come right on. It will show through your facial, through your, through the way you even walk in the door.
Exactly.
I think one of the things that when people think of nervousness, they think of fear.
Right.
But it's not fear. It's excitement. It's that excitement that needs to come out.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. You've got to be able to decipher that your nervousness is not fear, or if it is, turn the nervousness into an excitement rather than a fear. That's a very excellent point. A lot of people think that being nervous is, oh my God, I'm scared, but it's actually, oh my God, I'm so scared, but yet you're titillated and excited, and they don't know how to decide.
It's not a nervousness to where you want to run home and cry. It's just a nervousness like let's get it done. I really want this. I had an audition. I had an audition yesterday, and I was nervous about it. So I was literally walking around the room, but all that was that excitement that needed to come out. So when I got into the audition room, it was already on display. It was already on display before I even walked in, before I even uttered my first words. So you just gotta hold it on that. You gotta hold it on that nervousness.
Yeah, you got to channel it into a good nervous energy. Now, what do you feel are the biggest obstacles being an actor, a beginning actor, let's say a beginning actor?
Well, one obstacle that I had to get over is there's no right or wrong answer. They feel like as an actor, you always have to be right. But sometimes, doing the wrong thing will get you work as well. Another thing that as an actor, especially as a beginning actor, is you can't, you gotta get over being perfect. Because in this business, there is no perfect. There is no always, I'm the perfect person or I'm the perfect thing, because sometimes perfect will, not get callbacks. So,
there's no such thing as perfection, and if you don't want to be too perfect, because that doesn't really add to a good character. I don't think so.
Right, absolutely.
Now, what do you, and I would imagine that one of the biggest obstacles coming out here to LA, or again, going anywhere, is when you come out here, you really, oh gosh, I hate saying this because a lot of people say, go with a wing and a prayer, but I believe you need a wing, a prayer, and some damn cash in your pocket. You've got to have something saved because it is expensive out here. It is not as expensive as New York, but it is expensive out here. So when you come out here, try to have a job lined up. At least try to have some interviews for some jobs. And to start out with, you might want to Again, you should save and come out here and be prepared. Do your research because it is expensive. You definitely need to know where you're living. You cannot live in certain areas. They're dangerous. Of course, many areas are dangerous, but you got to know where you're living, and you need to live in close proximity to the studios. A complex, apartment complex out here that most actors, it's almost like every single tenant in the building is an actor. And they're called Oakwood Apartments, and they are right by the studios. It's like studio here, studio there. It's like all you're surrounded. So do your research and find apartment complexes or places that are close to the studios, especially if you're not going to have a car when you first get started. But again, a car is very important, but you definitely have to do that. Now, another obstacle, getting a job. So try to have some interviews lined up. But if you don't, when you get here, and you don't have much money, it's going to go really fast. So you need to get a job. What did you do when you came out here? What did you do to get a job, or what would you recommend?
Well, what I did was if you're living on the East Coast and you want to transfer out here to the West Coast, find a job that transfers out here. See, one of the things I'm blessed to have is a job that I transferred. I transferred to out here that had the same company in California. So it made it a lot easier for me to really just, have
that's an excellent idea. An excellent idea because, like work at like a chain of restaurants or a chain of bars, right, or a company that has that's a very good, I love that. That's brilliant, Jamian, because if you can get a job, like you should do research and say, okay, well, I know that there's a company in California, so is there a company here in the state I live in, work there, and then get a transfer? It doesn't necessarily have to be a waitress or waiter job. That's a brilliant idea. I love it.
And see, what I did was, I do have a job as well, not only with acting, but you gotta have some type of money saved up, when you live out here. If you think that, you're going to have $500 and then you can leave, you are so sadly mistaken, because $500 goes in a second.
Oh my God!
Before you even think about it. I had to save money in order for me to move out here. And as far as having a place to live, is do your research. But if you do have friends out here that have a couch or have some extra space that can take you in until you get settled, take advantage of that opportunity. I have, my family, I call them, they're my friends, but I call them my family. They took me in. They took me in, and they made it so much easier for me to come to California. Instead of going through all that stresses of having a place to, looking for a place to live, because it could get very expensive, just having like a studio apartment. But they said, okay, listen, I got a couch. A couch is better than nothing.
That's right.
It made it so much comfortable for me to have, a place to live out here. Yes. And last but not least, I had transportation. Back east. So, they tell you, oh, yeah, you can sell your car and find another car in California. No, I would never do that. I would tell nobody to do that. If you have a car in, let's say, North Carolina, get it to California. There are a lot, spend some time doing the research on car transports, because a lot of people on car transports, they give pretty good deals that come out to California. They're always making a run out to California. So
absolutely,
if you have a car that you don't want to get rid of, then do go online, look up the information, go on Google, go on sites, and look up the mass mailing for car transports, and they'll call you back immediately, giving you their special rates or giving you their special prices, and they'll come pick up your car, and about 5 days later, it'll be in California waiting on you. So I was able to do all that research and have great people around me, and still great people to this day, that I'm able to make the transition to California very easy. So I would definitely encourage anybody to do that.
Now, Jamian, what about people who are not as lucky as you, who don't have, and they are out there. There are people who don't have support of a family, who do not have financial support, but they have a dream. Let's say they have nothing but a dream and they want to come to California, and they say they save enough money to get here on a bus. I mean, they're going to come. Whether we like it or not, they're going to come and do it. What can they do when they get here? First of all, avoid pimps. They hang out at the bus stations, and they will try. If you're a female, even if you're a male, I recently ran across an actress who came here from was Georgia on a Greyhound bus, and as soon as she stepped off, these bus stations are not areas that are safe, to be honest with you. So if you can fly here and you can save up enough to fly, I recommend it. But there was an actress that she got right off the bus, and there was a guy who practically scooped her up in a car and told her how much money that she could make. So you got to be really careful. But once you get here, say you are in a situation where you do come here with $500 or say $100, which they're going to do. What's the first thing they need to do?
Well, the first thing that they have to do is they have to take a second and breathe. Okay, a lot of people think that you gotta once you have that dream, then take advantage of it. Because a lot of people, let's be honest with you, a lot of people sit there and they say, okay, I'm going to California on this day, and it never happens.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You that dream is the engine in your car. That's where you start with. You start with that dream first. Okay? Now, if you're coming to California with less money, no job or no car or no means of transportation, then the first thing you have to do is you have to find out what places are near that bus station and get there.
Yeah.
Once you find that information, once you get that, then everything else will get a lot easier.
Yeah, like a hostel. Like a hostel. They have hostels, HOSTELs. Hostels are for people who travel around the world. They're usually students who are poor, and they allow you to stay there for literally like $25 for a weekend or something. So look for hostels, but try to get as far away from the bus station as you can. But you need to go and get yourself a job. So again, don't recommend coming here without money, but if you have to, there are places like hostels you can stay and look for roommate situations, but you need to get yourself a job. Run as fast as you can to get a job.
And everybody, one thing I noticed in California, everybody's looking for a roommate. Everybody. So it's not like, you come here, you're going to like, well, where am I going to live?
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, you will find so many roommates in California, near the studios, near the beach, near wherever. It doesn't necessarily, if you come here with money, you don't have to live by yourself if you don't want to.
No.
You could always, live with a roommate.
Yeah, it's not recommended that you live by yourself because you don't know anybody. You don't know what to do. At least with a roommate, they can give you tips, advice, and turn you on. Maybe even get you a job. And try to look for a place with a roommate situation. If you have maybe money for the first month's rent, look for a roommate situation, because if you can get in with the roommate, look for an actor. Go to all the different apartments, and then the first person that you feel that you get along well with and they're an actor, take it, because that person.
Exactly.
Oh, and then you want to go register immediately to these extra agencies, the central casting, the background places, because if you can get a job doing background, at least that's some income coming in, and then you'll just you got to think about baby steps. Don't think about overwhelming things. Think about baby steps. Go register with all of the background agencies, because they will get you out to working, especially.
And that's the thing, because I know when you get out here, it could get so overwhelming and it could get so stressful at the same time.
Yes.
But it's those baby steps, that will take you to the next level. And then you'll be at the next level without even thinking about it. I know that everybody comes out here and they instantly want to be a star. But sometimes you got to ask yourself, how did they get there? Where did they move from?
Yeah.
What did they do in order to get to that step?
Yeah.
A lot of actors, including myself, we all did a lot of background work. There's really no shame in it.
Yeah. There's no shame in it. You're a fool. In my opinion, you're a fool if you don't do background work, because that is where you're going to learn. Those are the tools that you need. I mean, if you can't afford to go to acting school right away, do background work. You're getting on the job training. That's what it is. On the job.
Not only that, but you can use background work as a way of networking.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of background actors, you're going to meet them. They can say, okay, well, I know an agent, or I know this site that you could go on, or I know this other actor, or whatever the case may be. Just making you comfortable around to where any opportunity you get is a networking opportunity.
Yes, and boy, let me tell you, I had some of the best adventures of my life doing background work. I tell you get all the scoops and all the gossip on what's going on in this town, because those background actors, they love to gossip and talk. And you don't want to never participate in negative gossip, but you want to listen to what's going on around you, and you will hear about all kinds of tips. And actors really, there are some exceptions where they're just greedy actors who don't want to tell you about anything. But for the most part, when you're at the background stage and you're doing the extra work, they are very helpful, friendly, and they will turn you on to everybody that they're working with and who they know, and it will be beneficial to you. So for the person coming out here with no money, if you come out on a Greyhound bus, or even if you come out here on a plane, get registered with all the background acting places to try to get a job, try to get an apartment with an actor in a roommate situation, and then once you start having money rolling in, then you can move on. But baby steps. You got to be patient. Okay, we only got a couple minutes. Let's talk all about you, Mr. Jamian. Now, you are on the move and shake. What's going on? Tell me about what projects you're working on now, what's coming up in the future. Let's hit it. Let's promote it, baby.
Well, the one thing is I'm on the verge of creating a website.
What do you mean on the verge of creating a website? Are you doing it yourself?
I am doing it myself. Thank God for a lot of ITs really teaching me back east on how to create a website. So a lot of people that I've worked with, I've collected a lot of information. The video that the video reel that I have, I'm putting together a website to share it to the whole world, introducing myself. I just did a short called Colorblind, directed by Tyrone Salisbury. That's going to be out sometime either October, sometime in the fall. Great director, great cast, and it's just on the move to just more auditioning and more networking. Definitely coming up in this year, coming along. But so far so good. I've been blessed to be a part of a cast after just moving out here to California, meeting great people, steering me in the right direction, asking a lot of questions, that it gives me tips to say, okay, what do I need to do? Updating my pages daily, looking to see what's out there, taking me to the next level.
Yeah.
So definitely look out for my website coming out though. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I wish I would have known that you needed a website, because I own a website design company. I would have given you one for free, my friend. But
see, you know what? See what? See, all of a sudden now you want to sit there.
I didn't know. I don't go around advertising. I'm gonna give people a free website. I wouldn't be making any money, But for you, and I'll tell you why. Because I watched your demo reel on YouTube, which I highly recommend everybody watch on YouTube. His name is Jamian Blackmon, and you got to see it. You really have some great natural acting chops. You really have a natural talent. You are very good at every single one of your clips. I mean, usually, and I cast a lot too, so usually 5 seconds, I know if the actor is good, and that's most casting directors will tell you they know within the first 5 seconds. Some will do 10 or 30 seconds, just depends who the actor is. But you, right away, I could see that you had great acting, natural instincts. You have a natural acting ability. You're very good. In your demo reel, it was very diverse. You had some comedy, you had some drama, and you were very, very good. And I said, there you go. That is going to be an actor I'll be seeing walking down the big old red path of delight. But
I'm just saying, we can go together. You know, hey, listen.
Oh my Lord.
I never. One thing my mother always taught me. She said, on your path to success, never forget the people who helped you get there.
That is so
I'm reading a book by Denzel Washington, and I encourage anybody and everybody to get it. It's called A Hand That Guided Me. And basically what that book details is it talks about his experience and who helped him get to where he is. And he asked a lot of celebrities that, you know, who helped you get to where you are. You know, he had people like Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Whoopi Goldberg, Alice Rodriguez, James Worthy.
He had a lot of people help him. He's a fantastic actor, and I'm so sorry, Jamie, but we're like a minute past due, so I'm getting the old red light, so to speak, to get off here. But we have talked our asses off today. But Jamian, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your experience as a beginning actor in Hollywood, and I know that you are on to great things. You are a fantastic actor.
Thank you.
And I highly recommend anyone who needs a great actor to check Jamian out. Jamian, Jamian, Blackmon, Blackmon. Go on YouTube right now and check out his demo video. You will be very, very impressed. He's also on Facebook at Jamian, Blkmon, and also on LinkedIn and Twitter. You can hit him up at Jamaile11. We got to condense that. We got to get it all one name. Branding. Have everything the same, people. Everything the same. Try to work it out. Make it all the same. That way people can find you anywhere. Okay?
Exactly.
And for beginning actors, actorsaccess.com. Get yourself registered. It's free. lacasting.com and Central Casting and all of these other background acting places. And Jamian, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Oh, one thing I want to give a quick shout out to my friends out here in California. You know, Chance, Jenna, my family out in the East Coast, in New Jersey, Philly, especially my mom. I love you, Mother, out in Florida. I'm not going to forget about you on Mother's Day, my sisters, my uncle. You know, thanks for being there. And just believe in yourself. So that's all I can really say.
That's it. And believe in Jamian Blackmon, because he'll be on the silver screen at a local AMC near you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Question Reality. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Only on LA Talk Radio.